Okay, I know that title is ridiculous, like peak clickbait energy, but hey, if you clicked, it worked, didn't it? And honestly, I'm not even sorry because what I'm about to share is actually going to blow your mind. Here's the thing, you've probably noticed people dropping weight fast lately and thought, okay, they're definitely on Ozempic. And maybe some of them are, but a lot of the effects people credit to those GLP-1 medications, they're actually just what happens when your metabolism starts working properly again. Think about it: natural appetite control, stable energy all day, no constant food thoughts, fat loss that actually sticks. You can get most of this without injections if you understand how insulin, glucose, and fat burning actually work in your body. So, here's the plan for today. Firstly, I'm going to break down exactly why GLP-1 meds work, not to promote them, but so we can reverse engineer the same metabolic effects naturally. Then we're going to walk through 5 strategic steps that you can start today that recreate those results in 2026. Controlling blood sugar spikes, turning off food noise, strategic fasting, not the crazy kind, exercise that actually improves insulin sensitivity, and building true metabolic flexibility. Quick intro, I'm Kim. I've lost over 14 kilos and kept it off for over a year now. I'm not just maintaining, I'm still actively recompositioning my body, building muscle, losing fat, and improving my metabolic health. I also help others to do the same. My approach has primarily been animal-based, sometimes ketovore, paired with well-timed intermittent fasting. I also spend hours every week researching nutrition-based wellness and continue reading trusted books on the topic. So let's get into it. But before we dive in, all my fat loss resources and detailed help are linked below in the description if you want the full roadmap. Now, let's talk about how to look like you're on GLP-1 meds without actually being on them. So, first, let's just talk about what a GLP-1 medication actually does, because they're not a magic fat melting injection no matter what the media says. These drugs work because they fix your metabolic environment, or I guess you could say that they optimize it. Firstly, they drastically lower your appetite. They also slow down how fast food leaves your stomach. They improve how your body responds to insulin and stabilizes your blood sugar throughout the day. They also reduce that constant mental food noise. Notice something? They're not burning fat directly. They're creating the conditions where fat loss becomes so easy because your hormones aren't fighting you anymore. Most traditional diets completely miss this. They just force you to eat less inside of a broken metabolic system. It's like trying to bail water out of a boat while someone's just like drilling holes in the bottom. You might lose weight initially, but you are fighting an uphill battle the whole time. And the second you stop, everything floods back. So here's what clicked for me. If you want the same outcome without the medication, you have to fix the same systems. You need to create that metabolic environment yourself. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, real talk. If your blood sugar is on a roller coaster all day, fat loss is basically impossible. When you eat something that spikes your blood sugar too high, hello, breakfast cereal, pastries, pasta, your body releases insulin to deal with it. Insulin's job is to shuttle that sugar into your cells for energy, or energy later on, aka body fat. But here's the thing, while insulin is elevated, fat burning is completely shut off. Your body can't access stored fat for energy because insulin is literally locking it away. So you end up hungry again in 2 hours, craving more carbs, feeling tired and foggy, storing more fat, especially around your midsection, which, by the way, is the most dangerous spot to store fat because can be around your organs. This is exactly what GLP-1 meds interrupt. They keep your blood sugar stable so insulin stays low, which means fat burning can actually happen. So how do we recreate this naturally? Now, I'm not saying you need to go full keto forever, although if you want to, that's fine. But you do need to reduce refined carbs and anchor your meals around protein and fat. Think like bacon and eggs instead of toast and jam. When you eat this way, your insulin stays lower throughout the day, and guess what happens? Your appetite naturally drops. You stop thinking about food every hour, your energy stabilizes. That's the GLP-1 effect, but you're doing it with real food. This isn't about restriction, it is about eating foods that naturally satisfy you and keep your blood sugar stable so your body can access fat for energy instead of constantly demanding more glucose. People on GLP-1 medications always say that the biggest change isn't even the weight loss, it's the silence in their brain. That constant mental chatter about food just stops. You can recreate this with what you eat. Here's how. Protein is going to be your secret weapon. It triggers satiety hormones way better than carbs or even fat does. When you eat enough protein, your body gets the signal, okay, we're good, we've got enough. Fat, however, will slow digestion, which keeps you fuller for longer. No more crash and crave cycles. And when your glucose is stable, like from what I mentioned before with lowering carbs, you don't need to get the emergency, like, I need food now signals that make you grab whatever's closest. So instead of cereal for breakfast, try eggs cooked in butter with some avocado. This recreates 3 huge effects from the GLP-1 meds. Appetite suppression that feels natural, not forced. You stop grazing all day and your calories drop effortlessly because you're genuinely satisfied. You could also try a supplement like berberine or Gymnema sylvester. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I used to be someone who couldn't have just like one piece of chocolate. Once I started, it was like a slippery slope. But when I fixed my insulin and started eating this way, the cravings just faded, all because I controlled my food noise. Okay, fasting. I know this word freaks people out, but hear me out. This isn't about suffering or starving yourself. As I said before, you cannot burn fat while insulin is high. It is physically impossible. Your body needs those insulin breaks to access stored fat for energy. Fasting creates those breaks. Now, I'm not talking about diving straight into 48-hour fast. We're being gentle. We're going to begin with 12 to 14 hours. Honestly, this is just like skipping late night snacks and maybe finishing 2 to 3 hours before bed. Then you can work up to 16-8. So I usually keep my eating window between 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And never combine fasting with carbs. That is a recipe for feeling terrible. The GLP-1 parallel here is pretty huge. Your hunger decreases naturally. You're eating in fewer windows. You have way more control over your choices. And once your body adapts to burning fat for fuel, fasting feels completely different. You're not hangry and shaky. You are energized and clear-headed because your body is efficiently using stored fat. I remember the first time I made it to noon without like feeling hunger and realized I wasn't even thinking about food. It was the moment that I knew that my metabolism had shifted, that my body was making a delicious meal out of my own stored body fat. That's metabolic flexibility, and that is exactly what GLP-1 meds are mimicking. And it's important to note that GLP-1 is a hormone in your body, and these medications are enhancing that hormone. So it is something natural in your body that you can start to like mimic the impact of these drugs. So here's something that might surprise you. GLP-1 meds don't work by burning calories, so your workouts shouldn't either. Most people are stuck in this like calorie burning mindset. They think that they need to go hours, do hours of cardio to lose weight, but that just completely misses the point. What you actually need is exercise that improves insulin sensitivity. Walking is incredible for glucose disposal. Even a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals can significantly lower your blood sugar spikes. Strength training makes your muscles better at absorbing glucose for energy and repair, which means that less insulin is needed overall. Plus, muscle is metabolically active. It burns calories even at rest. Not chronic cardio, running yourself into the ground every day just stresses your body out, spikes cortisol, and can actually make insulin resistance worse if you're already metabolically compromised. So here's the key. The goal is to become insulin sensitive, not exhausted, because stress can inhibit fat burning too. In my coaching, I just recommend like a realistic daily step goal and just 2 to 3 resistance training sessions per week. That's it. Because your insulin is working properly, you don't need to live at the gym to see results. You don't need to do HIIT or marathons either. So what happens when we put this all together? You develop something called metabolic flexibility. This is when your body can easily switch between burning fat and burning carbs for energy depending on what is currently available. Here's what that looks like in real life. You can skip a meal without feeling like you're dying. Your energy stays stable without constant snacks. You don't panic about food choices. Your weight stabilizes without obsessive tracking. You can enjoy a meal without derailing everything. This is when people will start asking, are you on Ozempic? You're disappearing. What are you doing? Because you've recreated the metabolic environment that those medications create and enhancing your natural GLP-1 hormone. But you did it naturally by fixing your insulin responses, teaching your body to burn fat effectively, and giving your hormones the support that they need. I've been maintaining my results for over a year now through holidays, vacations, life, and stress, all of it. All because I'm not struggling through another traditional diet. My metabolism just works properly now. Now, I have to tell you, this isn't fast and it's not sexy. It doesn't happen in 30 days, but it actually lasts. And unlike GLP-1 meds, you don't lose muscle mass, you don't crash your metabolism, you don't regain all of the weight when you stop. You're building health, not just tracing a number. And I need to be super clear here. There are many ways to lose weight. This is just one science-backed way that makes your hormones work with you, not against you. What matters is finding what works for you. So if you want to look like you're on GLP-1 meds in 2026, you need to start fixing your insulin sensitivity and metabolic health right now. This is the work that no one on Instagram really talks about because it's not sexy, it's not fast, and you can't really fit it in a 15-second reel. But it's exactly why your results will actually stick while everyone else is just back at square one 6 months later. If you're done with dieting and ready to fix your metabolism properly, I've got some detailed resources in the description below. And if you found this helpful, you will also love this video about why you gain weight eating carbs, but your friend doesn't. Please do me a favor and hit that like button. It helps other women who are struggling with the same stuff find this video. Also, drop a comment if you have any questions. I actually read and respond to them. Remember, you're not broken. Your body isn't against you. You just need to understand how it actually works so that you can work with it instead of constantly fighting it. All right, girlies, I will see you in the next one. Now, go make your body think it's on Ozempic without spending thousands of dollars on injections. You've got this.